That was like a Dynasty Warriors.
It was exactly Dynasty Warriors. I played it at the Nintendo store.
We're online, guys.
Oh. Shit.
Quick, stop talking about Nintendo!
All right. Well, everyone, hello again. Glad to be back. Sorry about that. Obviously, it wasn't our fault, but hey, we're going to move on anyway. We had a discussion. We continued the discussion we were having before. Eventually, when you see the VOD, I do eventually gather myself and give what I believe to be a somewhat concise thought on what I meant, because I think I misspoke a few more times. But
the one question we never answered, though, is, honestly, and we never figured this out in the break, what the fuck does it mean to be a great wizard in the Harry Potter world when everybody just has a one-hit kill spell? It doesn't make any sense, right?
Seriously,
We all
right?
agree that
Not
doesn't
everyone
make
can
any sense.
actually use that spell.
Okay, no!
It's awful game design.
Okay, everybody says that. Everybody says that. Not everybody can use. And when they teach it in class, the teacher was like, "The killing curse. You have to be like of great hatred in order to do it." But no one in the entire fucking book ever struggled to use it, or in the movies. Anybody that wanted to use it. Was there ever?
Everyone that was a main character in the book was strong in the power. There was
Well,
no
yeah, but like there was never a case in the entire and all the Harry Potter adventures where somebody like tried to use the killing curse and it didn't work because they weren't strong enough. Like it seemed like every single
that's
person
any spell ever though, isn't it? Like everything that Harry and his friends try to do, they would able to do it. Like,
always worked. Yeah. Even when Harry used that spell that he never even fucking knew about that he found in the book that Snape made, I think, to fucking cut people's faces.
yeah.
So what the fuck was the point? The funny thing is, actually, in the movies, it was actually illustrated better in the books. Because in the movies, at least when they did, like, the Kamehameha, like, Dragon Ball Z, like, wand charges, oh, well, he's the stronger wizard because he won that. But, like, in the book, it seems like, I feel like I would have been the best wizard in the Harry Potter world because I can talk fast, so I can cast more spells quicker, right? Like, nobody had, like, a mana pool. Like, nobody...
Don't talk.
When they cast...
They learn not to talk when they do it. That's actually a section in the book too.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, man, silent casting, super
Silent
powerful.
casting.
In the book, really?
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, fucking how many times did?
Was this like fanfic?
How many times? Hey, how many?
No,
Like,
was
look, listen. How many times did someone just flick their fucking wand and shit happen? Like when
Okay,
fucking.
but that was in the movie that happened.
No,
sure.
that shit
Yeah,
happened in the book.
as well.
Think about the
Yeah,
fourth
sure.
book. They were in the kitchen. They're getting ready for the fucking wedding, and fucking her fucking mom, Ron Weasley's mom, right? She fucking flicks her wand at the potatoes, and the fucking potatoes jump out of the skin.
Okay,
Literally,
well,
the
I
words
figure that's
used.
just- I don't remember anybody using a killing curse without speaking in the book. Did that ever happen?
I imagine
Yeah,
that the difficulty of the spell would increase with a silent cast. So
But if you were a good wizard,
very
whatever that
difficult.
means.
I don't actually
then
know if
doesn't
that ever
that-
happened in the book.
I don't
Okay,
know.
second
People are
question.
gonna kill
They
you.
just
Why
wanted
is
to
he
put that
so
killing curse.
Okay, second
right?
question.
Like they can't pun it up, so they just gotta say what it is. They're gonna be like, "Avada Kedavra."
Second question. In order to take ownership of a wand, you either have to kill the person using it or just disarm them. Why didn't Voldemort just use a disarm spell on Snape, who was like the only fucking competent worker
Because
that he
he's
had?
fucking Voldemort.
Yeah, but
Disarm is
Snape was
pretty
like
open.
literally like. the
I don't know.
only
Hey,
fucking
why
competent
didn't fucking
person.
the night that Harry Potter and Dumbledore go dick off somewhere else and leave everyone, these fucking kids, to die? Why didn't they fucking use a refilling charm on the Felix Felicia so everyone could have a little bit of
Why
luck?
didn't everyone just use time turners?
Yeah, well that too. They introduced the time
Why?
turners out of nowhere. Why didn't everybody have one of those? It seems like the most OP like time turners in the book. What did they use it for?
Exactly.
Hermione
The-
could take 3 classes at once.
The answer
That's
to
it?
all your questions is because we needed a fucking story. And if in a fucking magical world where anything can literally fucking happen, if you do not set some boundaries and make some bullshit argument like, well, we can't do this because blah blah blah, then you wouldn't have a story. Then we wouldn't have felt empathy for Snape because Snape would have become
I
some.
know. I'm just saying.
I
Like,
don't
a
feel
little bit of
empathy for Snape
consistency.
anyways. That guy was a total tart. Jesus.
Okay, real talk. Snape was actually like borderline like rapey, creepy dude.
He was
And
fucking
it-
creepy.
Yeah, like
Definitely
that was
a
like
nice guy, like a nice guy, my lady.
he was like super friend zoned. He was, but that was like, well, I really like Lily and she likes James, so I'm gonna stalk her for my entire fucking life.
Hey, how about that feel when all these books you idolize Harry's father as like some, past hero in the fucking wizarding world, and then it's like, oh, he was a cunt. Like,
He wasn't really though. He was
He was a boy
no.
in, like,
No, it wasn't that he was a bully. It's that he was a strong, like, confident fucking person. But you view it from like the paradigm of friend
Actually, that's
zone
true.
beta fuck Snape, who is too shy or whatever to say anything. So you're like, oh wow, he must be a jerk. Because I guess most of the people that read books identify more with the beta. Fuck
Wait,
character.
I'm sorry. What about the scene where he's holding him up with his wand and floating him over the sea?
No, he did always pick on Snape.
Okay, like he might have been us like a little bit. That was some
It was
fucking
unnecessary.
character building. Clearly, he needed it.
Right, he was like when he was 16, and then Harry asked Sirius, like, "Hey, was my father actually a dick?" And they're like, oh yeah, back then he was kind of mean, but once like he got together with Lily, she really
Yeah, he mellowed out. Like that's what happens when people grow up. Like even Voldemort was kind of an asshole early on, right? When he said like,
kind
oh,
of.
No, I'm sorry, not Voldemort. Not Voldemort. I mean Dumbledore. Dumbledore was kind of an asshole.
No,
in a lot
Dumbledore
of
was an
ways.
asshole.
Yeah,
And his friend, his gay lover.
yeah. It was only revealed to be gay afterwards because J.K. Rowling makes completely unnecessary.
Thank you. Fucking thank you. Jesus Christ. There was absolutely no point. Dumbledore's
That was
fucking love
dumb.
life was absolutely not involved
His
in any way,
sexuality
shape, or
was
form.
completely irrelevant, but she like brought it up in an interview. I think she wanted to be edgy. Like if he was gay, like I mean that's cool. I don't have a problem with that. That's fine. But it just seemed really weird for her to.
There was
throw
no
out this-
point.
Everyone,
Oh, yes.
including the gay community, has a problem with that.
Because there was no point. It was pandering. That's all it
Yeah,
was.
it was like total. That
It
was
was
like,
like, yeah,
oh,
it's
by the
totally
way,
gay character
I'm
in the
not sure
book.
if I mentioned this, but Ginny was also transgendered from an early age, but like she had hormone therapy and you couldn't even tell. It's like, why even bring it up? What? Like, what? How is this relevant? Yeah, that was really dumb.
I don't know. I don't think it's too far-fetched. Like, if you're a writer and you're going to visualize your characters, for them to
have backstory that you don't
have
specifically-
backstory that you don't say.
Okay, no, but here's
Sure.
the problem that everyone brings up, right? Like people are they're always happy to have gay representation, right? Because that's good, that's fine. But tacking it on at the end with
Yeah,
no
to never even bring
prior-
it up is like,
it's actually terrible. It's not representation. It's actually pandering towards the gay community.
yeah, and it's doing it like in
at
kind of
any
like an
point,
insulting way.
the
Like,
entire seventh book was about Dumbledore's past, and
You
the
wouldn't
closest
bring
you
that up.
got was, oh, he kind of had a best friend that was a guy. It's the closest you got to actually showing that he was even in love with the guy.
Well, right, but the thing was, I feel like I could be misremembering, but the people when they were making the movies were trying to build in a female love interest for Dumbledore, and she opposed
Ooh.
that, and she said no for Dumbledore.
they were
and
trying
then she opposed that, and she's like, no, you can't do that. That's not the way I
That is
envision
still
my
the
character.
softest representation you can ever do.
Like,
That's
the-
appealing. That's trying to appeal to two different people, like the
Yeah.
conservative, white old men and people who are in the LGBT.
One of my favorite gay characters of all fucking time. If you ever saw the show Dexter, I think like the
Oh,
killer
dude,
sent to kill
holy
him.
shit.
That guy who wears the suit, he's a gay character. But like that's it. He's gay. He's not like fucking dudes in the ass the entire movie. He doesn't have like the gay list. It's shown, and it's very obviously shown because he talks about a past lover that it was a man, that he was gay. But then that was it. But then he was just like a good character, and he was
Totally.
gay. You know?
Totally,
Like,
man.
The
I fucking
Dumbledore
love that
thing
guy.
was like that was like so stupid. The way that was pandered in was so fucking stupidly fucking handled and irrelevant to everything.
Good
What
talk.
were we- Anyway,
This is the important shit right here.
well, the whole purpose of that conversation, like, is we were showing you that you can deviate from talking about the game without having somebody in chat bring it up first, and then you can get more people in chat to bring up these kinds of things. And now we've just
The entire
illustrated.
point of that.
Yeah, right?
Like,
We are back. We are full circle. Sorry, chat. People in the
Lycan was-
chat that were live.
Lycan was disappointed that sometimes people in chat wouldn't ask about other things, and what we were trying to illustrate was the point that if you bring up something completely off topic, that people will eventually start to question it more if they know you have an interest there by talking about it without, having it brought up.
Hey,
Right?
all right.
There we go.
You get fucking. First of all, thank you, Steven. Excellent point. Well demonstrated. Second of all, Prime said you get time the fuck out for referring to Jack Attack as Anna Kendrick. You don't fucking do that. You ruined Anna Kendrick for me.
I thought I was Anna Kendrick. Oh.
No, see,
I think Zombie Grub is. Let's be fair. I think Zombie Grub is way more Anna Kendrick than I am. But I'm a close second. Can I at least?
No, you can't get close second because that means I'm close second to very. Never mind.
Yes,
So-
Lycan. You can finish that.
Sounds like you. So what we're saying is, once Lycan is dead and we start talking about him posthumously, we will also reveal that Lycan is dead. Much like Dumbledore. Okay, Lycan.
Oh, one point I did want to make about Dumbledore though is like, never mind. So anyway,
You gotta do it. You gotta move it out of your system.
no, like
Sorry.
when it came out, I was trying to justify why she would say that. I'm like, okay, let's say she's not fucking pandering. But then it's like, so what? Are you saying all these quirky things about his love for fucking sweets and just how goofy he is and that he wears like a woman's nightgown kind of robe? Is that fucking why?
Yeah, but that's
Like,
the problem. When a lot of people want to show gay characters in media, they try to do it in the fucking most condescending, stupid fucking way possible. For instance, like the James Bond gay character in what's the name of the movie? Not
Casino Royale.
No, the gay guy at the end.
Ones.
No, like the newest one, like the newest fucking James Bond. What was it called?
Nightfall.
Skyfall.
Yeah,
Skyfall.
Skyfall, where the guy was like touching his leg and shit. I'm pretty sure he was supposed to be gay, right?
I can't remember.
But he
that. I
seemed
didn't
kind of
really-
like gay and like really creepy, kind of like, oh, like fuck, this guy's gay. He's
Oh
like,
yeah. Oh, I know
Yeah,
exactly
like,
what you're talking
that's,
about.
like,
Yeah,
so fucking like, like you can have you can make somebody that's a strong character that doesn't have any intrinsically negative attributes, that doesn't play like the stereotypically I'm so fucking gay. That kind of person, and then just make them gay, right? Like Sigourney Weaver's character in Alien, right? I like to compare like Sigourney Weaver in Alien, right? That was a strong female character, or Beatrix and Kill Bill. Those are strong female characters that are strong characters completely in their own right, and they happen to be women, and that's awesome. Versus like Mrs. Smith and Mr. and Mrs. Smith, who like every other fucking scene is like, look, I can shoot guns this good, and I'm a girl. Look, I can do this even though I'm a girl. It's like, okay, so what? Like, so you're a woman, so that means that I guess like you're intrinsically fucking worthless, but now you can do these cool things, so you're not. Like, what does that even fucking mean? Like,
Or like Kerrigan StarCraft 1, Kerrigan StarCraft 2.
Oh my god.
Kerrigan in StarCraft 1,
God.
strong independent character, does all of her fucking shit because she has all of her motivations and all of her shit is fleshed out and written out. Kerrigan in StarCraft 2 is the lover of Jim Raynor. And everything that she does is an extension of that. Like, okay, time to go back to my humanity? Yes, because I love Jim Raynor. Oh, Jim Raynor doesn't love me anymore? Time to go back to the Zerg. Like, what? Oh my god.
So the main leak there, they never articulated Kerrigan's relationship with the Swarm. She only has conversations with a few characters on Leviathan. You don't see her like frolicking around in like the swarmy fjords of wherever the fuck that they live. Like Zerglings are really cute, and I bet she rode an Overlord more than once. And maybe she would name some of them like they go blah blah blah, and she can communicate bionically.
Like Jesse's actually like 100% right? But it's also just like the love story being the main story just was
So
always a terrible
bad.
way to go.
Oh,
And it's
my
such a
God.
boring story. It's
so
like,
not
StarCraft,
worth.
so many
political-
times.
Political
StarCraft
smart
and-
savviness of Brood War that appealed to everyone at the age versus the like 12-year-old young adult novel.
Everybody in Brood War was like nuanced. Everybody had their things. There were no like, there were some kind of like pretty shitty people like Mangst and fucking even the Alexei Stukov guy who turns out to be like a turncoat and shit. Like all of that shit was like really fucking like nuanced. Like there were like goods and bads and everybody had clear motivation. In StarCraft 2, it's like so like black and white, like cheesy good and evil. Like Mengst is like this cheesy, like, I just want to fucking kill Kerrigan and everybody. And like Raynor and Kerrigan have a love story, and Kerrigan wants Raynor to love her. And oh my
So
god.
look at the ending where she flips
Yeah,
away.
I feel like that's what's killing StarCraft 2, actually. I take everything else back. It's the horrible fucking love story bullshit.
Yeah,
really
that was the saddest moment of Wings of Liberty for me when the Kerrigan character was introduced, and I was like,
And then
Oh, and then
maybe it'll get
Tychus had to die
Maybe
for
it'll
her.
get better. He's
and
gonna
then
get better. Oh, what
and
the
then at the end
fuck?
of the game where it's like, oh, Jim Raynor, the guy that promised to kill her because of all the evils that she'd done, all the people she killed. When she killed Phoenix, he swore to kill her. All of that.
Yeah.
Oh, but Kerrigan is back, and I haven't fucked a woman in 7 years, so I guess now, like, my love of all the old times is back, and I love her. Oh my god.
All right. Why can't we have more of these conversations? Like
We can, we did, and we will.
we have to, you know. So you guys ever watch the co-optional podcast, Total Biscuits shit?
Oh yeah.
Do you know they do an animated version? There's like a guy who
Oh, I saw that. That was really fucking cool.
there's a guy who does like funny segments of them, and then it's hilarious. So we need to have more of these discussions. Anyway, let's. I think that's really all. Oh, one real quick thing about the Lycan League I wanted to talk about. So a little self promotion near the end. I'm changing it up. So I'm taking a lot of leaves out of Olivia's book. I talked to her and I asked her permission to steal some of her Patreon wording and all that stuff. But I'm gonna make it strictly because some months have Anyway, I want to make it 3 weeks for the Lycan League. Right. The first week is assuming there's nothing special like the Harvester mod going on. It'll be Legacy of the Void, Legacy of the Void, Legacy of the Void Archon mode, and then the finals, which will be normal, right? But with the changes going on, it's going to be next month is going to be Legacy of the Void, Harvester mod, and Archon mode. For the Archon mode, I put it in the Patreon. It made it so we're going to have a what do you call it? A TeamSpeak server for Zombie Grub and Rifkin to go into. And so they'll be able to jump chat rooms between Archon 1 and Archon 2 and actually hear people coordinating. And I think that's going to be pretty awesome to hear and see. And
Just hear people yelling at each other.
well, what was it? There was one game last week during the Archon mode tournament where who was it? Was it Ian and someone else?
No, it wasn't Ian. You're talking about the we have to pause.
Yeah,
Oh, who was that? Was that no, I can't remember.
I can't remember. There were two players that paused the game. They're like, we can't figure out. He's stupid, and they couldn't
They
figure
were like,
out.
he's stupid. He can't micro against tanks. So we're deciding on who should micro and who should macro.
And they paused the middle of the game for that, so it was funny. Anyway, So that's something we added. I also lowered, like, I took Destiny and Richard Lewis's advice, and I lowered almost all of it. Pretty much the only thing that's in the Patreon right now is the Lycan League, like the basic costs, all right? What I pay the admin, tips for Zombie Grub, Rifkin, and the actual prize pool, right? And then I have one more goal, which is just to raise the prize pool for the monthly and the weekly by a little bit. And it's now a weekly thing instead of a monthly thing. So that's really all I'm trying to do there. If I get sponsors, then the money will go towards that, and I'll tell everyone, I'll send a message to all the Patreons and say, hey, look, you guys can pull out now, or I'll actually create a new goal and you can stick around for it. So anyway, that's the little part about that. We're going to go into questions now and wrap up this show. I do apologize again that everyone had to deal with that glitch earlier, and thank you guys for sticking around. I really appreciate that.
Make sure you watch the VOD because we had the most interesting, awesome discussion ever that you completely missed. So definitely go to youtube.com/LycanG. Is that right?
LycanG
and
TV.
watch that. What LycanG TV and go watch that VOD. Watch the shit out of it. Watch it twice.
At least a dozen memes.
Oh, such dank. Okay. Oh man. So top question. Why?
Questions? Oh, shit.
Yeah. So why? Let's change the title from Avada Kedavra to questions.
I'm glad we covered Avada Kedavra.
Right? I didn't take you for a
very
Harry Potter fan,
important
We got
Steven.
so many really key
Cover.
points out, like Snape's
Yep.
a jackass. No one can like him. Like,
I liked Snape.
no.
I liked Snape. Sorry. I mean, I didn't want him to have Lily or anything, but I liked him.
He
Like,
used a 12-year-old because he wanted to fuck the person's mom. Like, Jesus Christ.
I thought in the movie, I thought it was about to get really dark when Harry was at the end, and Snape was like, Harry, you have your mother's eyes. I wonder if you have your mother's mouth too. Like it was about to get like fucking crazy or some shit. Like
wait. What if instead of porn, like wizards instead of having like a magazine stashed in their closet, they have a pensive, right? And people sell their dirty experiences.
No, there was like an entire a thread on Reddit or some shit. Like, what's the dirtiest things that would happen in a Harry Potter world? What's the most fucked up shit, basically? And of course, the love potion, that's effed up.
Yeah.
There.
Sure.
But then, like porn, pensive, whatever things that they're
Oh
called.
man, I literally
other
just thought of that.
pictures
I thought that
doesn't
was
get better than
unique.
all their pictures are like moving anyway, so like.
Yep. Oh,
Already got a head start on everybody else, right? There you
dude,
go.
Colin Creevy was all about that. Like, hey, I'm now a wizard, and I found out I can put these normal pictures in a fucking little potion, and they'll all start moving. So I imagine he tossed a few, penthouses in there.
What if Snape gave Harry the wrong memories and it was just like some fucked up freaky shit?
So
Oh
you
my God.
in his
And Harry's,
wait.
looking through the things and it's like,
You
oh
go through
my
double
God.
doors pensive, and there's just really questionable things.
Wait.
You killed a guy? Oh, just skip that past that.
All right. Anyway, someone asked why I have you on the show, and I tell you what, this has been an awesome show. That's why I have you on the show. He asked why I have you on the show because you haven't played StarCraft in so
Fucking
long.
Destiny, what the fuck? You
Fucking
have
Destiny, Jesus Christ.
fucking everywhere, man.
Yep.
2x.
All right. If you will be there until blah blah blah. Oh, funny. Good joke. How long will you be on? All right. Here you go, Steven, how long will you be on the show? He doesn't want to have false hosts because you said you don't want to do anything with StarCraft anymore, and unfollowed the StarCraft people on Twitter.
I did. That's because I don't fucking... Did you guys see the Todd Naniwa and
Yeah.
Muslim shit?
Yes.
Did you see the picture that Todd tweeted
Yeah.
to Muslim
Oh my God.
followers?
Yep.
That was some fucking. That was probably some of the toppest cake that I've seen in quite a while.
I didn't know where that was coming from. Like, I thought, honest to God, I thought it was Todd saying stop tweeting about me. Like, I didn't know any of the story. I just saw the
No,
picture.
and anyone does this shit where anytime you mention anything he does with girls, he gets like super crazy fucking defensive.
Is he
Like,
really dating Tiger Lily?
I
Yeah.
think so.
My God.
Yeah,
I mean,
that.
she's over there now, so I would imagine so.
This is
but
why we need People magazine.
the daily, the daily
Yeah.
drama.
Man, have you guys seen
We need
God?
more. Neuro, talk to Nico and tell him that we need more drama in the weekly All In.
Drama section.
Please, we need a whole drama section.
Oh, speaking of Weekly All In, if you go back 2 issues, you'll see my article about Red Bull drinks that I made. I have really good drinks that I make with Red Bull, and you should check them out.
Oh my God! Have you ever tried mixing like Red Bull and Jaeger bombs? Never mind. Fucked up. I don't drink. I'm sorry. I tried.
Oh.
That's where the engine stopped there. was almost there. It was very close to making it, but
My yeah.
I got joke anxiety and I couldn't finish it. I thought it was gonna be unfunny, so I immediately gave up.
All right. So since we're just in the question jerk off time, what is the something you tweeted about someone copywriting overlays?
Oh my god. Fucking Trick 2 dipshit has fucking filed a trademark for the term subwars.
Oh my
and he's
God.
trying to license it out to people. What a fucking shitty piece of shit. I couldn't even fucking believe it. Oh my god.
Does he have
So
any
now he has a
grounds? Does he have any
Yeah,
grounds for that?
I guess he's like the first one to like call it subwars, and he went to the trademark office and shit to fucking do it, and it's like integral to his business and shit. So like, but it's just like the whole everything, like all the reasons why copyright law is so fucked up. Like he's playing into it perfectly. Like it's such an unnecessary, money grubbing, greedy fucking piece of shit thing to do. I couldn't even fucking believe it.
Jesus Christ.
Trademarking subwars. Fuck. How long has Trick 2G even been fucking on a streamer? Like 2 or 3 years? Like so fucking stupid. Of all this shit, like as content creators, like we all have to wrestle with the dumb shit that is DMCA and IP laws and everything anyway. And to play into that like such a greedy fuck is so disgusting. I couldn't even fucking believe it. I was asking my stream if it was possible to like go and trademark the name Trick 2G so that I could try to license it out to him. He already trademarked his own name, so you can't do it.
Oh my God. Jesus, what a
Yeah.
fuckhead.
Yeah, what a like just so unnecessary. Ugh.
seriously.
Oh God. All right. That's depressing. All right, let's go to the next question. Jack Attack. Relevant to most of the topics this week, you have a project called The Sandbox, which you did mention earlier, that's supposed to be about dedicated practice and helping people improve. He hasn't heard anything about this. Was it a success? Are people improving?
Hell yeah. Currently, we have 8 Grandmasters in the Sandbox. 5 out of those 8 Grandmasters were Masters when they went in. We do have an active player base of about 72 players right now, with 46 players in the Proving Grounds, which is basically the area where we teach people about deliberate practice. And then once they understand deliberate practice and how to apply it to StarCraft properly, and they've proved that they're sort of committed and active, we push them into the Sandbox, which is the full group. And yeah, man, there are people practicing there pretty much nonstop. It's a super active group. We have like low-level players, high-level players, everything. Neuro helps people all the time in there. He's one of our main like support
Mentality.
people, especially mentality. Robert Yip's in there. Like I said before, we have a guy, Dave, who is like completely dedicated to replay analysis and does like giant batches of thousands of replays analysis, and you can figure out like which strategies you're weak against, which strategies you're strong against, all that kind of shit. Yeah, man, it's awesome. It's really, and funny enough, it's like this entire project came out of the fact that I applied for CSN training camp and didn't get in, and Robert Yip was like, man, I really liked what you talked about with deliberate practice. And then we just like complained about it to each other for 3 hours. And then we're like, all right, you know what? We should do something about it. And then this is basically what happened. So if you want to be better at StarCraft 2, all you have to do is send an email to jackattacktv@gmail.com and explain why you think deliberate practice, or rather how you think deliberate practice is superior to only playing ladder.
What's the name of that guy from Futurama, the superhero, not superhero, the fucking captain of that own spaceship, like something Brannigan or something, or
Zap Brannigan.
Zap Brannigan. You could do an amazing impression of him, Jack Attack. The voice you just did.
If you call now.
No, not that one.
Oh
You
no,
actually quote him.
I don't know, man. I don't know that character.
I don't know any of
I
his
just
quotes.
Zap?
Typed up and make voices.
Yeah, Zap Brannigan or something
You
like
want
that.
some champagne?
That's
Champagne.
All right.
anyway.
I'll,
All right.
I'll look him up and I'll try to have a quote ready for next time around.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Fuck yeah, Neuro. That's a response from one of the people in the thread. I agree. Fuck yeah, Neuro.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, Neuro. I think we can all raise our glasses to fuck yeah, Neuro.
Hell yeah. And seriously, guys, check out the Weekly All In and read his articles in it, because every week they're awesome. Like in-depth, thoughts on StarCraft and strategy and mindset. Yes,
So
read
you
it.
mind if I kind of explain why I'm doing StarCraft?
No.
Because people are like, who is this person? Why is he on StarCraft?
No.
So, to put it shortly, I came from cognitive science in university, graduated with a bachelor's, played online poker for 1 year, and then wanted to bring an awareness of mentality to esports. The poker community understands that gaming is difficult, and if you commit yourself to a career in a particular discipline, it's going to be hard, and there are going to be parts of it that are very, very strenuous on your motivation. So if you consider human emotion as a structure, you can consider how to manage that to create edges over the competition. Your average gamer is whiny. They're very, very whiny. They complain about things. They make excuses. If you can be mindful of these biases and not take those easy ways out of kind of writing off your losses, you can improve more quickly than other people. So it's bringing that awareness of human psychology to a new discipline, esports, which can draw on old knowledge like Bruce Lee striking thoughts, Musashi Miyamoto, Book of Five Rings, The Art of Learning, Josh Waitzkin, The Mental Game of Poker. All this stuff pertains directly to StarCraft, and we can use it and we should use it.
There you go, guys. So definitely check his stuff out. TheWeeklyAllIn.com. All the archives, and I think you've been writing with us since the beginning, right, Nero?
Second issue, I was streamer of the week for the first one.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, so he has way more, like, my fucking shit's poor. Like, I did an interview, and I read a few build articles for Cheeses for Terran and shit, and then my drinks. So his is good quality stuff. Check it out. Let's see, what else we got?
He streams like a maniac. He's like almost nonstop streaming. It's
Like,
insane.
You guys have to look up the Neuro Burrow. I can't even, like, if you have a link to it, Neuro, please link it in chat so people can experience it while you're with the roaches.
It's in the compendium, so I'm going to post a compendium link.
Let's see. While you do that, I'm going to get to the next question. Destiny.
Yeah.
Is the lack of ladder in Legacy of the Void the main thing still holding you back from playing, or is League just still more viable viewer count wise for you?
I mean, League is always going to be more viable because Legacy of the Void is already fucking dead. But yeah, putting ladder in Legacy of the Void I would definitely play more.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be ranked like top 10 or whatever, because I don't think pros are playing as much because they're still playing Heart of the Swarm.
So when you came back to StarCraft, right? And you were playing StarCraft versus League of Legends, like, do you have like 1,000 viewer difference in StarCraft versus League, or?
I can still pull more, like for average viewers, I would probably still pull more average viewerships playing StarCraft, I think. I could probably average like 3,000 plus, but for League, I'm sitting anywhere from like 1.5 to 2.5. It really depends on who else is streaming, what's going on.
Okay. Nero, for a while in Legacy of the Void, you were going 2-hatch plus macro hatchery early on. Is this still looking viable, and do you think it will be in the long term?
It depends on matchup. So the earlier you are in a game, the wider the metagame is going to be in terms of what people are doing. And the further you get into it, the weaker strategies kind of fall by the wayside. So considering that particular build, you can consider the greediest possible opener and the most aggressive possible opener, and the spectrum of openers in between. That one falls on the greedy end. So you want to think about map-specific scenarios when you can use that to get your economy going, and match-up specific scenarios when you can get that economy going. So you have to consider a lot of different variables, but the cool thing about beta is you can just try random stuff and see how it pans out. You can test it over a series of maybe 20 to 50 games, and then consider which scenarios it's successful in and which scenarios it fails in. We were talking about, I think when the stream was down, investing in a style that you might be losing with in the immediate term, but if you polish it up, you can evaluate whether or not it's viable at the competitive level. And part of that is the hard work of people who experiment and who innovate and who create new builds and new openers.
There we go, guys. Man, you're so
where
smooth
on
and
the
well spoken.
spectrum would you My chat said it, I couldn't resist.
The what?
There was like a spectrum joke in there, but
Because you're extremely intelligent and well thought, and apparently
no, it was an autism joke.
I know that's what it,
Oh.
Apparently you
'Cause
can't
said the
think
word
like
spectrum,
that.
and anytime we say
Oh.
the word spectrum,
Okay, never mind.
autism has to fit into a joke somewhere. Somewhere, right? It's like the rule of the fucking internet.
You've molded them well.
I didn't mold them; they mold me, dog. I just sit up there. I absorb the dank. It's one with me. Can't help it.
You must become one with the dank.
Yes.
All
Okay,
right.
wait. I'm sorry. One final question. Okay, and I'll never do this again. In the Batman Dark Knight Rises scene, when Bane is in the plane, and Bane is like, the guy's like, "What happens if I take off the mask?" Bane is like, "It would be very painful." And then the guy's like, "You're a big guy," and then Bane says, "For you." It's pretty obvious there that Bane means like it would be very painful for you if I took off the mask. That's the joke. why do people act like this is like so hard to understand? You're a big guy for me. Are most people really that fucking autistic when they listen to movies that they can't like put that line together? Does anybody know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about. I didn't know there was an uproar about that line.
There's a
Yeah, I
huge
didn't
uproar.
realize
Everybody
you-
makes fun of it. Everybody's like, for you? What do you mean? You're a big guy for you? What does that mean? Like, are you Did you forget the sentence he said literally fucking like 2 seconds earlier? Why do people act like this is like hard to understand? Do people actually have trouble understanding it, or is it just like an ironic meme?
So there's a difference between low context and high context communication. Low context is Bane saying to Batman, if I were to fuck you in the ass, it might be uncomfortable. High context is what they said in the film, where they're not explicitly stating it. You have to use clues and inferences to arrive.
But I feel like this is like Babby's first high context statement. When it's literally the first thing is separated by "you're a big guy." There's 4 words separating the 2 statements. Do people really have that short term of a memory? Like, for you what? What's he referring to? And are we like having to dig back through like archives of stories and shit? Like, I don't know.
So wait, Nero, you're obviously an extremely intelligent human being. Is your game handle did you choose Nero because you're like, I'm fucking smart, I'm Nero?
No. It's not about being smart.
Neurobiology and neurosciences and whatnot all fits into cognitive psychology, no?
Yes, cognitive science. So neuro is also a genre of drum and bass, which is fucking awesome, and you should check it out, neurofunk. Neuro also, if you think about a name of a character, if people are going to shout a name, you want it to carry well. Stefano! It ends with an O. That's kind of nice. So that was part of the planning.
Wow.
Bringing
Destiny.
Bringing science to games.
That is
It's
pretty-
just the main quest. And I think of neuro, the concept, as being the idea of trying to leverage the maximum potential of your mind. It's not about me. It's not about my journey. It's about teaching people to leverage thinking tools to use their brains better. That's the purpose. People have amazing biocomputers in their skull, and they're just jerking off all day doing stupid shit. They're not building anything when they could be, when they maybe have these talents and gifts, and they just jack around. So it's kind of being deliberate with understanding the powers that you have in your own brain and trying to use those effectively.
Sounds good to me. And yeah, you know what? As long as I run the show, I will say whatever cringeworthy things I want to, chat. Just a heads up.
Yeah.
There are many episodes in the future. Wait till episode 100. I'm gonna take a leaf out of the what is it called? State of the Game book, and we're gonna do a live drunk cringe fucking fest. You wait.
Just remember, like, in freedom of speech doesn't mean freedom from criticism.
It is easy to criticize and break down the spirit of others, but to know oneself takes a lifetime.
Well, so fuck knowing oneself, just criticize others. Is what easier.
I think you're gonna be a regular part of the show, Nero. Just want to say that. All right.
I'm a primate trained in the saying of words.
Dominic better be a regular part too. She needs to like pay us back for the fuck we got their fucking ship funded.
Yeah,
What the
Jesus Christ, holy shit! You guys are at. Hold on, let me refresh.
$10 million.
Close, 8,520. You
Holy
guys have
shit.
surpassed. You
Fuck
guys
yes.
have surpassed
Rich
your top
bitch.
goal.
fuck? Man, people got mad for my tournament. I only fucking $5,500.
You guys showed up, man. You guys showed up hard.
Ugh, Jesus Christ, guys. Damn.
Well deserved. Seriously.
You get a dollar bill.
After like so many ridiculous number of hours of like not getting paid for shit.
Hey, wait. Here's what's gonna happen, right? You ready?
Well deserved.
Check it out. So they hold this live event. Zombie Girl Brifkin kick the fucking ass, and then bam, they kick Artosis and Tasteless out of fucking GSL, and they bring.
Imagine Could you really?
No, that's I'm being hyperbolic, but I can definitely see something amazing coming for you guys after this.
I would love the cast in Korea, but they're pretty, you know. That sucks doesn't qualify as a good caster statement there.
Yeah.
They say that all the time.
Would you rather cast in Korea than casting in North America?
I would rather live in another country.
I would rather get paid professionally to cast for a living than not.
That too.
but- yeah, like,
No, but I was just just as an aside, I was just curious if you
Oh.
preferred America or Korea, just for like the idea of it.
have you gotten
Or
to
if you
travel
have
out of
a
the country before?
I went to Europe when I was younger. That's it. Like I'm going to Korea this year to go to Pro League finals.
Sick.
Nice.
What?
Yeah.
How long are you gonna be there for like a day or 3? Or?
Now, like 2 weeks.
Jesus.
Wow.
Oh, dude, you know how much? Do you know how much Korean barbecue you can eat for cheap in
I was
fucking?
watching so many like
Okay.
Korean shows, but like there was like this one like real life one, and they went to like Hyundai or whatever, which is like a bunch of like known for its street food, and they were eating so much shit. And I was like, oh my god,
I'm really.
not gonna go to Korea. Like Jesus.
Destiny
I'm
is
gonna
the.
put this out there, okay?
Oh,
No,
Jesus.
okay.
You're the only
Korean
person-
barbecue is the most overhyped. Like,
Dude,
here, you put thin piece of meat on the grill, and then they come off the grill hot. Korean barbecue.
It's not about that.
Dude.
There's the flavor. The flavor,
The
it's
flavor
amazing.
of the meat that's unseasoned and goes on the fucking grill, and you pull it off the little strips
Alright,
of deli
I
meat.
don't know what you've been eating, but those bulgogi and like spicy pork, those are all like those are very like Korean flavors. But it's not even about the meat for me. It's about fucking like side dishes.
Destiny's the
If
only.
you like the million sauces, then I guess like it's okay. But
Dude, I
I think the
love
hype
the
is like
side dishes.
crazy overblown.
Steven,
Like,
you're the only
Korean
person-
Barbecue, Korean barbecue is like decent. Like I'll go and eat it. Like I went to Anaheim to eat something. Like it's cool, but it's not like some fucking life altering
I love the
experience.
I like the environment and the different like flavors that you get.
It's
Like,
the environment, and it's a way to socialize. It's a very social meal. You sit around a table, so when everyone, we don't get to see each other
As
all the time in
opposed to, like,
person.
that's actually a good point. I hate it in like American restaurants when you go to fucking eat and there's walls in between all the fucking seats. So when you sit down, like you're locked in a little chamber, you can't talk to the person sitting next to you.
Yeah, so you are the only person.
Wait, what are you talking about? You
you-
can be social at any meal. What does social have to do
No,
with it?
it's not. It's
different.
very different. You're sitting there, you're all
like,
fucking.
I don't
it's
think you can actually like.
it's
I
a
mean,
slow meal. It's not a quick meal.
compared to like you're actually like right like American restaurants, they have like big booths and they have like a certain amount of space in between like different chairs, right? And Americans like that. They like space. But in Korea, or like Korean barbecues, right? Because they're trying to adapt whatever. Like they're very squished in there, you know. And like, you
I
have to,
feel like
you know-
this isn't like an America versus Korean thing. I feel like it's like a white person thing. Not to be like,
Well, that's
mean to
true
white
too,
people, but white
actually.
people are really fucking boring when it comes
Yeah,
to like
that's true.
family events and shit compared to like Spanish people. Or I don't
Yeah.
hang out with many black
I would
people.
agree with that 100%.
Yeah. So how boring is it to go to fucking Outback Steakhouse versus go find a
Nothing with
fucking?
me is boring because I'm a fucking riot dog. I don't know boring meals. What do you mean?
No, this is true because Outback Steakhouse you were
feel like-
perfectly fine. But I'm just saying that you're the only person that wants to go to a non-Korean restaurant at these video game things.
Here's what's really nice: the Korean barbecue. Like you'd say that, and people are like, I don't know Korean food because Korean food is really different. Like no one really knows it. But then you say, oh, but it's just meat on a slab, you know, that's cooked, and they're like, oh, well, that's good. Like I'll go there, and then that's when you slyly introduce them to like kimchi and shit.
I would like to issue a challenge to everyone. If you
Uh-oh.
go to a restaurant and there's a menu with stuff in different languages, don't even ask what it is. Just flip through and point at something and say that you want that. And
Well, hope
surprise
you're not
yourself.
allergic to like squid or some shit. 'Cause you're gonna die.
Good
Well,
luck.
if you have
guys.
an allergy, then you're not good at
Hey,
it.
Not do this challenge if you're
Natural
allergic.
selection will eliminate you from the team.
RNG.
I think Louis C.K. and Marco on that. Like, no offense, but like, if you touch a peanut and it fucking kills you, maybe that's the kind of person that's just not ready for fucking civilization. You know, maybe we need to get rid of some of these people, right? If you drink a little bit of milk and your stomach bloats to the size of a fucking blowfish or some shit, and you're about to explode, maybe that's the kind of genes that we need to get rid of from fucking. You know, I'm not advocating eugenics. I'm just saying, like, at some point, we gotta take a look and realize that some of this shit is too much.
Oh my god.
I didn't mean that. If you're actually allergic to food, I'm sorry. I
Uh,
empathize with your struggle.
All right, let's talk about something real quick. SBENU. Do you just is it SBENU? Like, is there a way to say that?
Benu.
SBENU. Okay, so they just
Gonna say.
sponsored. They just sponsored StarTale, so everyone's very happy about this. It's,
Hopefully. Oh no, they're like a legit company. Sorry.
Yeah,
they're huge. But before this, first of all, StarTale had zero money, like fucking
Yeah.
zero.
I don't think they had zero money. I think they had
No.
fake money
From-
because they had like an imaginary sponsor.
So
for
they
like
had-
6 months.
they
Like,
had-
Red Bull was like, I think they sponsor us.
So they had the imaginary sponsor before. When I was told by someone over there that I feel like a Richard Lewis moment coming on, like someone that I could trust. They had Zip, Dick, and then fucking Dong Regu, or not Dong Regu, fucking yeah. Is it DRG just signed over with him?
DRG, you mean, not Don
Yeah,
Rigo, right?
yeah. DRG just signed over with him, but he didn't fucking.
Sorry, like.
Go ahead. You didn't know. Wait, are we talking about DRG or Don Rigo?
They're the same people. Same person. Don't fuck with me, man.
I'm sorry.
Anyway, the point is that I wonder if he agreed beforehand to sign, like if he knew Sabino was coming on, because I mean, you know, these people, they work on these things for a long time. Total Biscuit has known about sponsors, you know, months before they announce them. So I wonder if
Don't you only signed up like in the last month, right?
yeah, so I wonder if they said to him, "Hey, look, Sabino, we're going to be announcing this soon."
I wouldn't be surprised.
If they had
Well-
something in the works when they were recruiting him, if he's like, yo, I want to negotiate a salary, and they're like, we don't have anything right now, but give us like a month, we've got something
Right,
in the works.
because
Yeah, of course they would talk about that.
because he was going after the other teams and they didn't want him. KT Rolster didn't want him. SKT T1, none of these people wanted him, and so then he goes to StarTale. So that's where I wonder, they didn't have money, did they tell him, hey, we've got this sponsor, and that's why he agreed? Or is it like he wanted to use that as a vaulting point to get to another team? Like, is StarTale not his final destination?
I don't think vaulting point is StarTale. I don't think that makes much sense, no? The vaulting point is like rude, isn't it? Sorry. I'm done.
I don't know.
Anyway, it's just the thought I have. I'm curious, like, what his motivations were, if he knew about the sponsor incoming, or, if his goal is to be with StarTale in the long run.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting too to see how being on StarTale affects his performance. If he's going to like the environment, if it's going to be like conducive to his practice.
I
imagine
understand.
it's not going to be much different than MVP. They're both ex-ESF.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Oh, okay. What about this? Nathanius Lag at the at WCS
Aw,
and the
fucking
game against
Nathanius.
Hawk.
Fuck my boy Huck over. What a piece of shit. Is he in chat?
Wait, did it actually come at like a really crucial moment? I was
See,
only
yes, it came in an extremely crucial moment.
Huck was doing like a proxy 2-gate or something, and there was like a zealot in hold position, like in the middle field, like so that SCVs couldn't surround it, and then Nathanius lagged, and the zealot like moved out, and like.
It got a
Huck
surround
pretty
on
much
it.
tweeted- I think Huck tweeted that Nathanius needs to be removed from professional casting, because shit like that has just happened too much with him.
But wasn't he in a studio?
I don't know.
Disney's kidding. Don't.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
You co-host with this guy like every single day, man. Like
I'm done.
you can't tell.
I don't hang out with him outside of this, so like I don't get enough of it to. I don't get enough of it to become immune. Like Jesus Christ!
You're
All right.
just a nice person. You're optimistic. You're a little naive, but you're a good person.
Oh
And
shucks.
you just
We
can't.
can teach you the way of the world. We can teach you the way. We can teach you to not be a good person.
I'm not a nice
That's
person.
That's what it's gonna take.
I wait for the day that a Reddit thread comes up and shows some of the mean stuff. I really don't say anything. I literally have 3 negative phrases on ladder. You're a piece of shit, nice all in, and go fuck yourself. That's the end of it. But I always wait for someone to say Lycan's a real bastard on ladder, and then show that. It's not every game, it's not every loss.
Just
It's
don't do it on a Smurf that everybody knows about. Like fucking Desro does it sometimes. There's been a few players who just like go off on people on Smurfs that everybody knows about.
Was that like one that happened to Muslim?
Probably, but the Muslim is pretty fucking mean on his Smurfs. Like I've heard that from a lot of people. Like he's like a bully. Like he snipes people a lot and shit too. Like I've heard that. That was a big reason. I don't know if the Muslims here wants to defend himself, but I heard that was a big reason why Idra hated him so much. Because like in the same house, like the Muslim would snipe him over and over again on like a fucking Smurf. And like 2 racks.
I think that was confirmed. I think it was
over and over again.
He thought it was funny. Like he didn't think it was gonna be mean. Just like
Can you imagine, like,
No, like Idra like was legit like angry.
Oh, I know.
It wasn't a funny thing to him. Like he was legit like.
Nothing was a funny thing to Idra though.
Well, I don't know if I would say that.
I
but-
think he was a human being. He probably thought some things were funny
Yeah.
sometimes.
Not when it
But
came to StarCraft. Not when it came to bullshit Protoss and bullshit Terran and bullshit Zergolins.
His
To be
mental
fair, like
game.
Edra had to endure some of the worst time periods in fucking ZV everything. Like ZVP,
I
is
know.
such a
I
fucking
know.
joke. Like
Whenever I
it's
hear like dubstep come on, I see his Roach Hydra army
just like getting
forcing its way
insta-killed
into
by.
Colossus Void Ray, and I'm just like, good time.
Oh,
I just
man.
like the thought of Muslim like in another room, cracking up and trying not to laugh too loud because he hears Idra yelling like "fuck this shit, this is fucking
That's why
stupid."
Idra had that cat, right? That's the only reason they let him have it. It's like his therapeutic cat, right? And he's just like, calm down, Idra. Just pet the cat.
What was his cat's name? Does anyone know?
I always got him and Sir Scoots confused in like 2010. His cat name. No.
I don't know either of
What
their
was
cat
his
names.
You thought his cat name was
like,
Sir
Sir Coots or Sir.
I don't remember.
For a second, I thought you like were trying to remember like Sir Scoots' cat and his cat at the same time, and like keeping
I didn't even
up
know
with
Sir
people's
Scoots'
cats'
cat.
name,
So.
is an important part
Hobbs,
of
there you go.
drama.
He was completely different, but like I didn't really know who
Hobbs.
Sir Scoots was. So that
Yeah.
sounds like a cat name, right? Like a really dumb.
Totally. It totally
Hobbs.
sounds like
Okay,
that.
Hobbs. Oh, God. Whew. Anyway, all right. Let's see.
Yeah, man, it's like Calvin and Hobbes reference.
Yeah. Dank.
Do you really think so? Do you think it's a Calvin and Hobbes reference, or do you think they just like the philosopher? I'm like, you don't know that dog. Like,
All right, so we kind of talked about this a little before, and this is the last question on here. I'm not going to read the whole question, but basically, do you guys think that Blizzard should do more drastic balance changes? Before you answer, what I want to say is that RTS. Preface this with RTS is very, very finely balanced kind of thing. You guys were talking earlier about how regular StarCraft, the very first vanilla StarCraft, was shit for balance. That's because Zilius, he now works for Riot. Zilius was the guy who popularized the Reaver drop. You know, one of the biggest fucking things from Brood War, one of the most prevalent strategies from Brood War. And then he went to work with Blizzard after he won the BlizzCon Invitational or Blizzard Invitational for the beta. He went on to work with Blizzard. He is the one who made balance a thing in these kind of gaming. So with this philosophy, I can go more into this, but the point is that with this philosophy, it's like there was a lot more to balance. We know this. There's a lot more to balance. You change one thing, you're going to change a lot of other things. You run that risk, and that's what everyone talks about when we all theory craft in the Reddit and all that shit. So at the end of this rant, point I'm getting at here is, do you think they should risk unbalancing the entire game when people's lives and all that stuff are reliant on being able to play this game and understand it to keep it more exciting?
We start with one foundational fact, and that's no game is perfectly balanced. So we're dealing with a distance from imperfection. We're trying to get it closer to perfection, but it's never going to get there. It's always going to be imbalanced in some ways. It seems like Blizzard is taking more risks leading into Legacy of the Void than they were going into Heart of the Swarm, so that's great. The main thing is communicating effectively what's going on and also quantifying what you think is too strong or too weak, and be as specific as you possibly can when you're talking in message forms and that sort of thing.
So do you think that those kind of drastic changes like they're doing with Dota and all that stuff, those just can't be applied to a game when that is what you're trying to go for, that perfect balance?
I feel like it's just different. It's not better or worse. It's just way different.
And do you think they should try to go for more, I guess, we're going to go into that period where we're not going to have another StarCraft for 10 years. Do you think that we should look to every couple years really fuck up the game and then rebalance it from there?
I feel like, especially going forward, I think the model, the idea of like an infinite game, which is being really popular instead of like StarCraft, StarCraft 2, StarCraft 3, The Return, I think that the idea of the infinite game is becoming really popular right now, especially with games like even Dota 2, I feel is like in the model of an infinite game. And I think that StarCraft should be made into that model. And as a result, we should be having big, drastic changes. And I think we should be having changes especially in beta more often. But as far as like the real game goes, we should have like really interesting changes in between seasons, like once a year for sure.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Zombie Garb, any thoughts on that?
I would agree, but I really want to hear like a pro gamer's thought on it.
Well,
Steven.
Destiny.
I mean, like,
what do you think?
I feel like having the things like mixed up like keeps things really fresh. I don't know, like in terms of like good competitiveness, like it's obviously not the best for like keeping crazy competitiveness. For like if looking at League of Legends where they add and take away like new items and champions like every couple of weeks, like the balance and shit can get mixed up crazy amounts, and like some things can be really overpowered some patches, and other things can like certain champs become really strong, and like but I mean it mixes things up and it keeps the game feeling really fresh, and it gives people like a reason to play. Would MOBAs be as popular without constant patching?
Well, I think that it's like
the draft system though.
That's
something I brought up before. Like, does that actually like help balance that out though? Like the imbalance, if it really is that imbalance, they'll
yeah, but
I'm just
even
gonna
like
ban Protoss on the ladder,
Yeah, even some things
God's like, not gonna play any Protosses today.
some things the draft system can't even help. Like for instance, like items. Like there was a time, all my knowledge is so old from season 3, but like the Black Cleaver used to be really fucking strong. Like every single fucking champ ability was so good. Or Warmogs was like really fucking good, and every single verse ability. Blade of the Ruined King was crazy fucking broken on launch. Like so, like that stuff can't necessarily be patched out, but maybe because it's a team game, it's kind of easier to deal with because there's so many more permutations of what can go on in a game that like nothing is beatable if you work together. Whereas in StarCraft, it's not the same. Maybe I don't know.
I think that like you change the game, right? Where StarCraft, we have this low patch rate, right? We patch very, very, very seldomly, right?
Yeah.
So when you increase the patch frequency, you make the players that are better at adapting to the change more powerful. You're making them more likely to have a successful career in esports, and you take away from the players who are better at just like getting the sort of like, I don't know, knowing what the best thing is and just doing it better than everyone else can do it. Yeah, I think that personally, I really like the idea of patching more often. I think it makes and I'm okay with like the best pro gamers in the world needing to have the skill of being able to adapt quickly to changes.
I
And I
agree.
think that makes it really interesting and fun.
I agree 1,000,000%. A lot of times, this is a complaint I've always had about StarCraft, and but whatever. I mean, some people write it off, but StarCraft is like very at the highest levels. I honestly think StarCraft is very, very loosely a strategy game. It doesn't play like it at all at the highest levels. It's more. It comes down more to like execution and mechanics become much more important than like how often do you see a game where there's actually like some crazy strategy being employed. Like it's very, very, very rare that something like off the wall happens. Usually, it's just a game of mechanics and execution.
Well,
Which
a
is
short-term
kind of
strategy,
disappointing.
right?
You take, like, I don't even think it's semantics. Like, I guess like the thing is like if you were to take like a silver player that's like really, 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 really smart and put them up against a masters player, the silver player would lose every single time, even if the master player was doing unoptimal and inefficient strategies, just because the master player can execute so much better. Now, whether or not that's right or wrong is, of course, obviously up for debate or interpretation. But I feel like sometimes it feels weird to call it a real-time strategy game when it feels like the execution dwarfs almost everything else. Like bad strategy, bad everything can be overcome with just better execution, better mechanics. Sometimes, you know.
I think the balance switched like heavily in the favor of execution and decision making though in when we switched from Brood War to StarCraft 2, and it's been continuing to go in that direction.
Wait, we switched from what?
No. Like I think that Brood War is much more mechanically.
Oh,
intensive than
yeah,
StarCraft
sure, I
2,
agree
you
with
know?
that. Sure,
I think
for
that even within the lifespan of StarCraft 2, we've been moving more in that direction.
For
yeah,
sure.
So I mean, like the biggest thing you can point to is Nesty, right? So Nesty was actually a terrible Brood War player, not because he wasn't smart, but because he wasn't mechanically gifted.
Yes. Yeah.
So, but he was really, really smart, and everyone agreed on that. And they turned to StarCraft 2 at a time where no one knew what the fuck they were doing, right? Like beginning Wings of Liberty, like they had general ideas, but you know it wasn't really that good. Fruit Dealer kind of made Zerg okay, I guess, but then ST really came and solidified it. And if that meant that like the mechanical players weren't as good, so innovation suddenly falls off, but people like Nesty come on. I mean, those were some of like most fun times in StarCraft. Was like everything was like the beginning of betas are always the most fun times. You know, people like playing it. People like
and
suddenly you have like
things that you're not like used to seeing, like Baneling drops from Fruit Dealer were like the coolest fucking thing in the world.
And like foreigners actually like, I mean, this is kind of like a side effect, right? But then they may have a better shot as well, where suddenly the strategy like because it always happens where like beta comes out, foreigners come up with these really cool strategies. They're the ones that are willing to test it because they're not trying to win a GSL, and then the Koreans like take it and make it perfect. And if that was continuously happening, I mean, foreigners make it farther and farther up the ranks.
Yeah, man. Freaking seeing Nesty do the spine crawler rush on, I think it was like dual site in one of the first GSLs.
It was dual site, yeah.
Was so fucking awesome. Holy
Yeah.
shit. That was like crazy exciting.
Lunakis be such a fun player, versus Protoss had Baneling drops.
Yeah.
As opposed to just simple up Roach Hydra, and that was always so fun. No one can do that anymore.
More patches means a faster evolving metagame.
This is true. It's very true. All right, I think that's it for the night, guys. That was a great show, and really happy to have you guys on. I think we're done with the questions. So, Neuro, this is your first time here. Thank you very much for coming. Do you want to tell everyone what's going on in your world, where people can find you, all that stuff?
Oh yeah, I mean, we'll just type in chat and I can click my stream link and Twitter and all that. Mainly it's about the articles that I'm writing, trying to build up and understanding some more thinking tools for StarCraft players. The reason I chose to stream StarCraft as opposed to different games is because the community is the most receptive to strategic thinking, to presenting idea and structure, and them integrating that deliberately in their own repertoire. So it's mainly about trying to rally people to be less emotional, less victim to their own human emotions, and more in control of themselves and more aware of what they want to get out of their experience in the game. The foundational question to ask, why am I playing this game? What do I want to get out of this game? And how can I use the tools I learned from StarCraft outside of StarCraft? Develop yourself in real life too.
There we go. Thank you again for coming on. I'm definitely going to have you on, especially for strategy and discussions. Jack Attack.
Hey everyone. You can find my shit at JackTackTV, youtube.com/JackTackTV, Facebook.com/JackTackTV, Twitter.com/JackTackTV. If you want to join the sandbox and start getting good at StarCraft in a very serious and intelligent and deliberate way, you send an email to JackTackTV@gmail.com, and with your explanation of how deliberate practice is superior to ladder. And yeah, that's it. That's the end. That's
I'm
the end.
disappointed.
Oh, if you want to support me directly, if you want to contribute to the Jack Likes to Eat Shit Tons of Rice Fund, go ahead and go to patreon.com/JackTackTV.
Awesome. And I'm disappointed that your email isn't jackattack@jackattacktv.com.
I'm working on it, man.
Wait,
you know,
do you own JackAttack.tv?
No, I don't. I wish I did.
Oh, if you buy the domain, you can just set up a mail server and you would have it.
Maybe I should do that.
There we go.
Is it? I shouldn't have said anything because someone's gonna buy it now.
Oh, someone's gonna do that.
You gotta do it now,
Yeah.
dude. All right, Zombie Grub. Let's talk about $8,695 because
Damn!
that's what's in your Patreon right now.
Wait, refresh it. Is it higher?
It's
So-
Might be over
over
10,000.
10,000 Canadian.
Why isn't mine
So
updating?
yours is probably in USD.
Ah, yeah, okay. US
that's,
dollars.
That's what it is.
Mouse over the
Oh,
little
okay.
like dollar sign. It tells
We
you.
were
Okay.
using, real money.
So on the little chart then is the left US dollar or yeah, okay, I see it. US dollar. Okay, so yeah, you've made it the last goal. We're gonna get the Korean and we're getting an extra day of tournament.
And Rifkin just tweeted at you to let me go so we could come up with more stretch.
All right. So tell her, other than
man.
this tournament coming up, where can people find you?
Just follow me on Twitter at CG Gaming and on Twitch at Zombie Grub. That's it.
Perfect. Awesome. Steven, what's
Yeah,
good?
what's up? Listen up, guys. There's only one thing in the world I care about right now. Okay, is selling more T-shirts. Okay, you go to twitch.tv/destiny. You can see the T-shirts for sale, or somebody can link them in the Twitch chat. Did I have that link? Somebody, I'm sure, has got it. Link that shit. The more T-shirts I sell, the better something. The more money, you know.
That money grab, that T-shirt money grab.
Money grab. I'm working on paying off those student loans, guys. Yeah.
Awesome, man.
First
Seriously,
T-shirt I'm
fuck student
selling,
loans.
so.
Are you gonna be streaming after Nero?
No, I'm done for the day.
Steven, you gonna be streaming?
Yeah, I'm probably gonna go Sunday Eve, but then I'll start streaming it.
Cool, cool. All right, guys. Well, hey, that's it. I too have a Patreon. It's patreon.com/Lycan, and I don't feel bad pitching it since they just made their. I was going to not say anything, but since they made their entire thing in one day, I have a Patreon. It's patreon.com/Lycan. It goes directly towards the Lycan League. It just alleviates the cost of the league each week, and eventually it'll cover the whole week, and then we'll work towards increasing things. But that will free up money that I can put into other esportsy stuff, expansion, growth, and all that fun things. So. Thank you all for coming. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next week.
Swarm.
That was super fun. Thanks, guys.
Brah.
Yes, excellent job.
Wow, I can't believe that you guys